What might have been the last serious morning workout for this year's Kentucky Derby this morning.
That's right. Combatant worked an easy 4 furlongs for trainer Steve Asmussen in 49 3/5 seconds. And while Combatant is 19th on the Derby points list, his trainer hopes he can duplicate the run of last year's long shot, Lookin at Lee.
WHAS 11's Gary Rodemeyer reports from the backside of Churchill for today's action.
Racing has been a battle for Combatant. Second in the Southwest, third in the Rebel, fourth in the Arkansas Derby, and the trainer says he's never had a good trip. Now, waiting for the next tussle, Combatant is very comfortable here at Churchill Downs. He spent a lot of time training here. And with only a maiden win to his credit, this Scat Daddy colt will likely be overlooked by the bettors. But Steve Asmussen sees some similarities to last year.
He does have a extremely similar personality of Looking at Lee. And I thought Looking at Lee did a great job to make the most of his one post last year. And I do see, I think that those are kind of what we're trying to recreate, is the run that Lee put in last year with a very similar horse.
Oh, the one post. Trainers consider that to be the kiss of death in the Derby. And Asmussen is hoping for a better spot in a year that he thinks the post position will be very important.
In the Derby with 20 runners and stuff, I would rather he be a little towards the outside, which is where he's been drawing all year and when I didn't want him to, so I'm sure he'll get the inside this time.
It's a race where Asmussen would like an honest pace, but he thinks the point system to qualify for the Derby has changed things.
Ever since we've went to the point system, I think it's quite obvious it takes a lot of the the pace out of the race and some of the intangibles, but how the racetrack's playing, where you want to be on the racetrack. I think all that'll be determined this week.
With Todd Pletcher, now a double winner, Steve Asmussen is perhaps the most accomplished trainer never to win a Kentucky Derby. He says it's the one race that so far has eluded him. He still hopes it's in his future, hopefully 5 days away. Gary Rodemeyer, WHAS 11 News at Derby 144.